Hi, I'm Kimberly from the Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube, and today I'm going to show you how to tell what type of cloth and what size cloth you're working with, and also how to know what size needle to use with it and how many threads. So I'm going to show you how you know what type of cloth you're working with. By looking at this, I know this is an Aida cloth just by looking at the squares, and just looking at it, it's probably a 12 count or 14 count. I'm not really sure. So that number means how many squares per inch. So I've got this stitch gauge, and if you line it up, your little line should line up if it's 12 count. That doesn't line up perfectly. So if I move it over to 14 count, it lines up perfectly because the squares, the little squares match the lines. Also, what you could do is put this and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to 1 inch. So this is 14 count. Now if you look at the gauge, 14 is the size of cloth. This small number on top means the number of threads, so you would use 2 strands, and 24 is the recommended size needle. So this little stitch gauge can really help you out to remember the needle, the number of strands, and what you're working with. Now if you work with a stash, you might have other cloth and you might just pull it out of your stash and have no idea what this is. So I'm looking at this one to see what this is, and the little dots are lining up with 32. This is a linen, and what this means is you're on a 32 cloth. If you stitch over 1 square, you would use 1 strand. If you're stitching over 2 squares, you would use 2 strands, and you would use a size 28 needle. We've got another linen that we're going to look at, and we're going to just kind of see where we think this lies. It's not lining up here or here, but it lines up on the 25. So what this means is we're working with a 25 count linen. If you stitch over 1 square, you would use 1 strand. If you stitch over 2 squares, you would use 3 strands, and you would use a size 26 needle. And we've got another Aida that's much bigger. So this one is lining up on the 10. So this is a 10 count cloth. You would use 4 strands, and you would use a size 20 needle. So I hope this helps you when you're pulling a fabric out of your stash to know what it is, and also help you to know how many strands to use and what size needle.